Have you ever stood before a grand entrance, one with these two huge columns on either side, and just felt something? Like you're on the edge of something important. We see them so often we barely even notice them anymore. But what if they're hiding a secret? A kind of universal code about how existence itself actually works? Well, today, we're going to uncover the secrets that are hidden right in plain sight.
You see them everywhere, right? At the entrance to Masonic lodges, old temples, and all sorts of important buildings all through history. So are they just for show? Just some fancy decoration? Or are these twin pillars actually a gateway to a much deeper understanding of the world and maybe even ourselves? That's the big mystery we're diving into.
All right, so in this first part, we're going to peel back the layers. We'll find out how simple stone and mortar can end up symbolizing these incredibly profound universal truths.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning, with the word pillar itself. It's fascinating, really. The root of the word isn't just about holding something up. It's about establishing something. It's about creating order where there was chaos. And right there, that's our very first clue to their deeper meaning.
And this is exactly where it starts to get really interesting. See, humanity pretty quickly took the pillar from just being a tool for building to being this incredibly powerful symbol. They weren't just supports anymore, they became guardians, standing right at the edge of everything we know, protecting sacred knowledge and marking the entrance to a whole different way of being. Let's keep going and see how this idea builds across different cultures. We're going to take a quick trip back in time to see just how ancient and widespread this symbol of twin pillars really is. Trust me, you'll be surprised at all the places they show up. Let's do a quick tour through mythology. First up, you've got the story of Enoch, who supposedly built two pillars to save all of humanity's knowledge from a global catastrophe. Then we jump over to ancient Egypt, where the pillars of Horus and Seth were said to establish the very order of the cosmos. And finally, for the ancient Greeks, the famous Pillars of Hercules, they marked the edge of the known world, a literal gateway to whatever lay beyond. These two images, side by side, they just perfectly capture that double meaning. On one hand, you've got this idea of pillars as these secret vaults for sacred knowledge, like in the legend of Enoch. And on the other, you have these huge, real-life pillars from Egypt, which stood for the fundamental forces holding the entire universe in balance.
You start to see the pattern, right? It's undeniable. In Norse myths, pillars were used to claim new land. For the ancient Hebrews wandering the desert, God appeared as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, literal symbols of divine guidance. Is it all just a coincidence? I really don't think so. This symbol is woven deep into our collective human story.
Okay, so now, let's zoom in on the most famous twin pillars of them all. The ones that have echoed through esoteric traditions for thousands of years and are really at the heart of our story today.
Meet Boaz and Jachin. According to the stories, these two massive bronze pillars were placed at the very entrance to King Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. Now here's the thing, they weren't structural. They didn't hold anything up. Their purpose was purely symbolic. And the key to unlocking their meaning? It's all in their names.
So Boaz is said to mean, in it is strength. It represents that raw power, force, and will. And Jachin means he will establish. It stands for form, structure, and order. Put them together, and you get this incredibly powerful statement, a divine promise: he will establish my house in strength to stand firm forever. It's about stability and endurance, established through strength.
But this is where it gets really good. That literal meaning? That's just the surface. What these pillars truly stand for is a fundamental law of the universe, a secret that's been hidden in plain sight this whole time. So what is that secret?
Well, the secret is the universal law of duality. It's this idea that all of existence is just a dynamic, cosmic dance between two fundamental, opposing forces. It's a concept that philosophers call dualism. Basically, it's the idea that everything we experience only makes sense because its opposite exists. You can't understand light without darkness, can you? Or order without chaos? They're not separate things. They're two sides of the exact same coin.
You know, the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus just nailed it. He said the cosmos is a harmony created by the war of opposites. He saw the universe not as some static, unchanging thing, but as this beautiful, tense harmony that's created by the constant push and pull of these opposing forces. It's not just a fight, it's a creative process.
Okay, so let's really map this out. Jachin, the pillar of establishment, that becomes the active, masculine principle. Think of the sun, light, fire, and even mercy. Then you have Boaz, the pillar of strength. That becomes the passive, feminine principle, the moon, darkness, earth, and justice. One is the force of creation, the other is the force that gives that creation its form.
And you see this idea just woven throughout all of esoteric traditions. You see figures like this all the time, combining the symbols of the sun and the moon, male and female. It represents the ultimate goal, integrating and balancing these opposite forces to achieve a state of wholeness, of true understanding.
So what's the point of all this? If the universe is just a big war of opposites, what are we supposed to do about it? Well, this last part is the most important piece of this ancient teaching. It's all about finding our place inside that cosmic dance.
And here is the absolute key. The wisdom isn't in choosing light over darkness or mercy over justice. No, true wisdom and true power comes from walking the middle path. It's about finding that perfect point of balance and harmony between the two pillars.
And this brings us to this really beautiful invisible truth. Those two pillars we can see, Jachin and Boaz, they actually create a third, unseen pillar right in the middle. And what is that central pillar? It's you. It's the initiate, the enlightened person who has finally learned to balance these opposing forces inside themselves.
This is exactly why in so many ancient rituals, the person seeking knowledge physically walks between two pillars. It's this powerful, symbolic act of leaving the world of extremes behind and entering a sacred space of balance. It's like a spiritual rebirth.
This profound quote just perfectly captures the essence of that journey. See, the temple you're trying to enter, it's not outside of you. The gateway isn't a physical door. The entire journey is taking place within your own consciousness. The pillars are inside you.
And listen, this isn't just some ancient mysticism. It connects directly to modern psychology. The psychologist Carl Jung called these powerful universal symbols archetypes. He believed they come from a collective unconscious that we all share. And the twin pillars, representing the fundamental dualities of life, are one of the most powerful archetypes of all.
So in the end, the twin pillars are so much more than just stone and bronze. They are a map of the cosmos, and they are a map of you. And they leave us all with one final, crucial question. How do we find the balance between the opposing forces in our own lives to build our own strong central pillar?